You are? Then... Dennis, I have no idea why you're not getting notified. I'm pretty bad with scheduling, though, we'll say that, so... I have a bit of inconsistency with when I jump on. So, some others in the SMT community have found it somewhat enjoyable to hear me talk about topics others have asked while they're working, so... I don't know, I guess I have a relaxing voice or something. Yeah. Playing A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo randomized. Usual... Man, you want me to come up with a topic? Topic... Well, I'm currently hopping off. To do site maintenance. Well, not hopping off, but taking a moment to do site maintenance. One of the websites I'm working on, I need to transfer a branch on the test site between two environments. So, let's see, moving D7 schema test from schema to search and refreshing database to the company. So, the joys of... Am I seriously not signed in? The joys of doing site maintenance, well, not on camera. So, please enjoy me talking and complaining about it without seeing anything. Which, probably for the best considering it's privileged information. Okay, that switched over. So, all modules. Let's see, what am I looking for? Search API. Solar search API. I'll get back to the game in a minute. Well, a good topic I would love to talk about is the security vulnerabilities that were present in AT and have not been fixed in 5G and the impacts they will have. Oddly enough, there is a vulnerability for 4G cold impact. And using that, they were able to exploit user equipment on the gateways, which is something that is expected to be mitigated when we go to standalone. As it stands at the moment, such vulnerabilities are still available because all 5G user equipment is also 4G user equipment. Which is pretty bad. What would be interesting if any of you were flies on the wall, when I was complaining to one of my thesis advisors about the fact that we're still effectively running legacy equipment and trying to make it 5G. And tell you the truth, Dennis, the most recent Patreon podcast I did with Sneed this Sunday, I covered a little bit of that. What do I mean by impact? Just a moment, and I'll give you a white paper link for impact. I'll also DM you on Discord. I mean, we can do a voice call on Discord.
That works.
And it also shows up on stream.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hear myself. Let me mute you on the stream. And also, let me change over to the sexy mic.
Yes, I'm willing to do voice calls in the middle.
Hey, does this sound better now?
Oh yeah.
All right, good. All right, yeah. So I think a good topic to talk about would be, and I'm gonna repeat it because I feel like, yeah. Anyway, a good topic would be the security vulnerabilities that were present in the LT era that are still present in 5G and haven't been touched on. I feel like that's a good topic point. Specifically, I know you sent me a white paper, and I will read it as we talk. But In the example of the impact vulnerability, can you give me like the short, brief version of exactly like what that is and maybe like a real world scenario of where that can be used?
So the user equipment identifier for 4G devices is vulnerable to a known cipher attack because it's effectively DES 3, but with all three DES components being the same XOR. Which enables people who are committed enough to ping a tower and duplicate your equipment information on the network, and all networks are vulnerable to this issue.
So like, so can you give like let me think how to word this. Like, can you give an example of like specifically how this could be like used? Like if I was a perpetrator, right, and I wanted to attack a victim, let's just say the victim was company A. Can you give an example of like how I could use that and how widespread the impact would be when I do such a thing?
So, with network slicing, there is the potential to subscribe to different slices and, you know, basically pay for them and have it be a lockout zone. Okay?
Okay.
Using this user equipment information, if you know the DNN information for the slice, and the slice authenticates based on user equipment, which is possible because of the UUID, which is associated with it. In theory, since you can mimic the information of a piece of user equipment, the security of slice isolation is obliterated, because some of the credentials that lock devices into the slice can be spoofed if you know how to do the XOR to copy user equipment. Luckily, we're past CDMA type connections where the phone doesn't need a SIM card to be registered. Or no, let me rephrase it. We use SIM cards, so the phone's CDMA ID is no longer usable for device identification.
Well, that's true for phones, but what about Internet of Things devices? Aren't there still Internet of Things devices on the network that are still using 1X and hence using CDMA?
Yes. That is.
So couldn't you just use one of those in favor of a phone, or no?
You could use one of those, but your mileage would be, your impact would be like greatly stifled, because what are you going to do if you're authenticating to the network as, say, a smart thermostat or industrial controller? They already have should already have predefined procedures and predefined responses to queries. The only thing you could do with that is increase the amount of data another customer is paying for by...
So let me... oh, sorry.
By flooding the network requests with meaningless queries.
So let me ask you a follow-up question. So I know you said one of the ways that we can resolve this specifically with 5G is once we move to a standalone core. However,
we also need new gateways.
Understood. But what I'd also like to know is, considering the fact that there's still going to be many things that are going to be relying on the LTE network, is it possible in some fashion to basically patch this type of vulnerability on the LTE side as well?
No.
Or is it just not feasible because of how LTE works?
It's not feasible because of how LTE works.
Gotcha. Let me ask another question. As an everyday Joe Schmo, what's the likelihood of someone like myself being impacted by this vulnerability?
Probably negligible, especially if you're, using multiple cell phones. And since the devices are not authenticated to, or not like, man, that's a bad bounty. Like, since the devices are not connected to the network using codes specifically, but SIM cards, it does lower the reach. But in the worst case scenario, you could find yourself unable to connect to your network using your phone because it was blacklisted or something.
Gotcha.
But your account information will not be compromised.
So, moving on to a somewhat different vulnerability, and this one definitely has lower reach because of the nature of how it's done. But are you familiar with basically where someone basically makes their own we'll call it like their own like personal microcell, essentially, impersonating like an LTE network and getting people's phones to connect? Are you familiar with that vulnerability? I don't know the name for it, but basically you beam out like
am I familiar with it.
What's up?
Not only am I familiar with it, NTIA said I should stop testing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
NTIA. What does NTIA stand for? I'm sorry.
They're the FCC for Federal Government Spectrum.
Ah. Gotcha. Well,
I was doing the same thing on CBRS.
Yeah, so my question was in regards to that. That's a vulnerability I don't think 5G standalone core is going to be able to fix either.
Nope.
And I would also argue that even though the impact of scale is small, the impact in a given area is quite large. If, say, someone was just sitting at, like, say, a nice Starbucks in the middle of downtown Manhattan.
Oh, I was going to do this at DEF CON. And have everybody connect to their burner network through my puck.
So, my question is what can a person like myself do to mitigate the potential of becoming a victim to that type of security vulnerability?
Turn off auto connect to open Wi-Fi, and turn off network roaming automatically. So if you're in an area where you can roam, your phone will notify you that you can roam. And
Open Wi-Fi, I knew, but can you elaborate on how turning off the roaming actually?
so for the CDMA example, I could say I could be broadcasting as CDMA on AT&T.
Right.
And everybody on AT&T would go, "Oh, this is a higher signal." No, not CDMA. CBRS. This is a stronger signal. And then connect to that because I am distributing my call sign saying, "Hey, all AT&T connect to me."
So, something that I want to clarify, and maybe this was just my naivety, but I thought that in the domestic U.S., phones would only roam when not in an area where there is native coverage.
Well,
so,
I can mimic native coverage, but it's still considered roaming because it's a third-party network operator.
Got you.
I have Bedardo in chat saying, "Is it our like pineapple popping up type stuff? What law enforcement does?" And they use those big vans with antennas. That's actually slightly different. Those big antennas are listening into conversations not over a network, but like free-to-air conversations.
Hey, let me ask you something else real quick, Pete.
Yep.
Once we get the full variety and flavors of 5G, including network splicing and standalone and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Would it be possible to incorporate a piece of sliced spectrum that is 100% encrypted?
Yeah.
And if that happened, would that help to reduce or mitigate many of the common vulnerabilities that exist today?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think the likelihood would be that we actually get that?
Well, I've an outline for the changes to specifications required listed in my master's thesis. So, if I'm lucky enough to deploy it, we got it.
Nice. Let me ask you something else, Pete.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw, but you remember a couple years back, the government was freaking out about Huawei and getting all that Huawei equipment removed out of networks, specifically impacting more regional providers.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the equipment that is being proposed to be used as the replacement by these providers by chance? Did you read the article recently?
No, I tell you the truth, with that Huawei situation, I've always been a little disappointed that I have not been able to get that into a lab and actually go through all their firmware.
Well, the reason why I was asking if you had the opportunity is because the equipment that's being used to replace it is produced by ZTE.
That's just as bad.
I know. That's why I found it hilarious.
They're also, what is it, 35% owned by the party.
Yeah, they're based in Shenzhen,
Yep.
which is still China. So it's like,
And they're a multinational corporation, so at least 30% of their business has to have CCP personnel.
yeah. So I was going to first ask, one, do you trust ZT-based equipment? And then I was going to ask as a follow-up question, what are your thoughts on the actual equipment itself that ZT is dishing out?
Well, first off, I don't trust any equipment that I do not have the ability to, dump into a lab.
Okay.
Plain and simple. If I cannot test the equipment, I'm not gonna vouch for it one way or another.
Understood.
What was the other question?
Just simply, what were your thoughts on the equipment itself from like a specification standpoint, like where it stacks up against the established players like, say, Nokia, Ericsson, Samsung?
You're not going to get the Ericsson level of connection. I have alternative reality chiming in saying from rock to the hard plays, Huawei to ZTE. Yep. And quite frankly, I trust Huawei equipment, the Huawei antennas, more than I do the ZTE antennas.
I agree. I just wanted to hear your personal thoughts because, well, even though we agree on a lot of things, we also sometimes disagree on things, which is why I always like to hear your well thought out thoughts.
Yep. And hopefully this lines up as well. It's a stupid decision to replace Huawei with ZTE due to the fact that they both have the same vulnerability.
So, Pete, slightly off-related topic, in case I haven't told you, but there is two things that have happened that have been good, both of which are kind of like unicorns. Do you want to take a guess of what they are before I say?
T-Mobile has released 5G radios in LA.
These are specific to Pittsburgh, to give you a hint.
Huh.
Alright, the first one is I spotted a maintenance truck from Verizon like about a week ago. That was like seeing a unicorn. And
they're updating your terrible fiber connection?
No, that's the thing. It's no longer terrible. I'm actually getting my speeds, and I'm getting stable ping times.
Interesting.
Right? And here's the more interesting part. After that happened, I went on the Verizon website. They actually updated the speed tiers that were offered. So now it's 300 by 300, 500 by 500 and a gig. So for about a week now, I've had a stable connection, which is fantastic.
That's a unicorn.
Yeah, I know. The second thing that I was going to tell you, and I sent the picture over to Sneed to confirm, as well as Carlos, but about a hop, skip, and away from my house, there is a ton of small cells that are being deployed by Crown Castle for Verizon.
Nice.
But take a guess what kind of small cells they are.
Nokia.
Yes, and take a guess of what bands they're on the small cells.
You're not getting on 77 on there, are you?
Nope. I'm not getting millimeter wave either. They are band 66, band 13.
Damn.
Yeah, there's about 5 or 6 of them. It's the same ones that AT&T uses. I'll send you a picture later. But yeah. Also, on the topic of small cells, this is another unicorn. Guess who I saw had a small cell deployed?
T-Mobile.
Yep. And guess what bands were on that small cell?
71, 66, 2, and 12.
No, it was a band 66 only small cell.
Huh.
Right? Right?
66?
66 only.
What?
Right?
Them do them.
What's up?
Them do them.
Yep. Yeah, it was 20 megahertz at band 66. That was it.
Man.
Yeah, I was talking to Sneed, and we're assuming that it's a combination of equipment shortages, and in the case of Verizon, they specifically opted to do the LTE-based stuff first because the area probably has more people connecting based over LTE. That was the assumption.
Yeah.
So the assumption is basically later upgrades, they'll put the UW on the forced macros that are actually surrounding said area, and then it'll just leave those there to keep the coverage gaps kind of filled in with the LTE and offload traffic. But the thing that's more interesting, outside of the two things, or the couple of things I've been saying, is that despite the fact that Verizon is putting small cells in Pittsburgh, which is fantastic, no small cells are actually making their way into the inner city. The inner city, the only carrier that has small cells on any meaningful level is AT&T.
Really?
Yes. The only small, quote-unquote, small cells, I'm using quotation marks when I say that, in Pittsburgh are Verizon's millimeter waves, but I use quotation marks on small cells because most of their millimeter wave sites are actually rooftop mounts.
Which aren't exactly small cells.
Right, but that's why I use quotation marks.
Makes sense.
You can't see me quotating, but yeah. You know, Pete, you haven't texted me since I've came back from Vegas.
I don't text people that often. I typically need something to say.
Really? I feel like there's a million things that you could say to me.
Yo, what up?
I mean, you can call me a dirty socialist.
Why would I do that?
I don't know.
By the way, Alternative Reality in my chat here just said, I just had an AT&T crews go through my neighborhood getting ready to deploy fiber. He's excited about getting fiber in his house in the near future.
Well, I'll tell you right now,
That's
even
badass.
I was gonna say, I'll tell you right now, even shitty fiber is still good. Do not be depressed if it takes 6 months for AT&T to make it work like it took Verizon, because it'll all be worth it in the end.
Also remember, fiber is good, be it dietary or internet. You know, just PSA out there.
Pete, it's been so long since I texted you that I'm actually having a hard time finding you in my recent conversations. That's how long it's been, Pete.
It's only been two and a half weeks.
And yet I've talked to so many people that you're so far down and that I haven't really scrolled for it.
Tell you the truth, most of my conversations revolve around work.
Well, Pete, I sent you a few images. Two are of the small cells that I mentioned that were of Verizon from the Nokia. I also sent you a C-band speed test that's in like the bumfuck middle of Egypt, where one of my buddies is at. We're trying to get him hooked up with the fixed wireless because I want you to be impressed by the C-band performance that you can't have in Denver.
At least not yet. What's that speed test of with the 622 by 110?
That's Verizon C-band.
Nice.
60 megahertz. That's 60 megahertz of spectrum coming in clutch.
Oh, yeah. So, I have a question for you, Alternative Reality. What type of plans are you expecting in your area?
Before he answers, I'm going to make a guess that it's 300 by 300, 500 by 500, and then gig symmetrical. I'm going to assume that 5 gig and 2 gig don't get offered immediately. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of multi-gig, by the way, did you see Verizon went live with 2 gig symmetrical in New York?
Nice. Two gig symmetrical in New York.
Specifically 2,048 megabits per second down and 2,048 megabits per second up.
Cool. Now, hopefully they provide a router or a router with a LAN port for that.
They are. The equipment that they're providing actually has a 10 gig port on it.
Nice. $10 gig.
And yeah, 10 gig.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's a heck of a port for 2 gig.
I know. So Pete.
Yeah.
Take a guess how much it costs for the 2 gig from Verizon.
$149.95.
Nope, $120.
Hey, it was close.
And do you remember how much AT&T is charging?
Nope. Let's go $130.
I believe it was something like that, but it's a promo price. This is no promo price. It's just $120 out the rip.
Well, what do you expect? It's AT&T, king of promo pricing.
Actually, that's cable companies that are king of promo prices. Let's get that right.
I remember DirecTV. After that first year, we triple your price.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
bend you over
yeah.
backwards.
And then
here, Pete, I'll share you the Reddit post on Discord here.
Let's see. There is fiber that's been available 2 blocks away for years, and I saw them go all the way up to 5 gigs. So, well, hopefully, alternative reality are in the same boat. Hey, 500 symmetrical alternative reality is, nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah, so Bearded Dragon, I just also sent you a follow-up message. It's the PDF of the router's user manual that they're sending out. The router has a 10 gig port, and then the rest of the Ethernet ports are 2.5 gigabit. So there's three 2.5 gigabit ports, a 10 gigabit port for the LAN, as well as a 10 gigabit port for the WAN.
Nice.
It is actually arguably, well, it's not better than my Ubiquiti Dream Stream Pro because I already have stuff. But honestly, for a consumer router or a consumer gateway, that is
consumer router.
Yeah, that is very good. And it gets better. It gets better, man. It's tri-band. It has 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and it has 6 gigahertz. So it's Wi-Fi 6E capable. All of them have 4x4 MIMO. So the router itself is actually better than my Ubiquiti access points because my access points are just normal Wi-Fi 6.
Nice. Now,
and that is free. That is free. It comes included. I'm gonna totally see about getting upgrade to it. And there's one more thing I want to say, and then I'll let you talk. One other thing that's really exciting about it is that it actually has a cell phone modem baked into it as well. So theoretically, it could be used as a backup. Like if you're in an area with like C-band, you can use it as a backup for when Fios goes down. Now go ahead, Pete.
Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say, but tri-band is nice, but to me, I don't 100% know if commercial equipment, consumer equipment is particularly set up for the 6E yet.
It's not, but it's nice that it's there, considering that Verizon, unlike Comcast, does not tend to do refreshes on their equipment as often. So I'm imagining that this will probably have to last for like I'm gonna say like 5 years before Verizon even thinks about upgrading it again.
Hey, that just means it keeps getting cheaper. And,
You say that, but not actually.
well, logically, if you're using the same thing for 5 years over time, parts become cheaper.
Cheaper for Verizon to make and sell, yes. Cheaper to the consumer, no.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go there.
Oh, one thing that's also worth mentioning that I also find incredibly impressive about the new gateway is it actually supports a later revision of Mocha. So you can actually get 2.5 gigabit per second land speeds over coax with it.
Nice.
And that's very, very useful considering the amount of homes that don't have Ethernet ran to the various rooms within the household.
Yep. I know my house doesn't, but
So yeah, Verizon's getting a big round of applause after 6 months of me shitting on them. They're getting big rounds of applause for me for actually doing something competently.
Good. And alternative reality, I'm actually a little curious. You have a VPN that caps at 500 megs a second. And what's your definition of overbuilt? Are you familiar with what overbuilt can mean, Dennis?
It depends on the term, but when I think of overbuild, I think of when an ISP lays down more fiber than it's necessary for a run and leaves it as dark fiber for future possible connections, whether that be for business use cases, node additions, or small cells connections, or whatever else in the future.
Or,
that's what overbuild stands for.
How about just upgrading the, more bandwidth than I could practically use? I have more bandwidth than I can practically use as a symmetrical gig, and I'm not complaining.
I also have gig and have more bandwidth than I can realistically use, and I'm not complaining because honestly, there's 3 things that are worth mentioning. 1 is that no one ever complains about their speed being too fast. 2 is that generally speaking, at some point in the future, bandwidth needs will increase to a point. And 3, when there are those higher speed options like the 5 gigs and the 2 gigs of the world, tends to mean that lower tier plans usually get faster speeds for reduced costs. So all wins, even if I'm not one of the people that would be willing to pay for the 5 gig.
Hey, I have the option for 10, and I'm not willing to pay $250 a month for my EP.
Exactly, but the fact that it's there is good.
Oh yeah.
I will just say, by the way, though, seriously, the amount of stress that has been removed from my life now that I actually have reliable internet is a fantastic thing.
I'm actually surprised they upgraded your internet.
Upgrading is a strong word. I wouldn't really call it upgrading, more like fixing a problem. Because it's not like I got something more than what I had. I'm just finally getting what I was paying for.
We need T-Mobile to update their N41 outside of Phoenix for Bedardo here in chat. So he can actually get what he's paying for.
I'm sorry, but I have zero faith in T-Mobile's home internet product. If there's another option that's for fixed wireless like Verizon, I would pick that every single time over T-Mobile's.
Oh yeah.
I tested it in Longmont, Pete, and that was best case scenario for T-Mobile, and it was pretty garbage.
Yep.
All the issues that I came in with expecting were all issues that cropped up.
What were you expecting here?
Well, I said it before, but latency being an issue.
Oh yeah.
Jitter being an issue, and then packet loss was not one that necessarily came to the top of my mind, but I thought it could be there, and it was an issue.
Yep.
And then expanding upon that, ports not being open and the inability to do port forwarding being an issue with certain applications, the lack of network management at the core level just due to how things are.
Yep.
And then issues when it comes to NAT, basically, with the fact that T-Mobile has to do carrier grade NAT to convert an IPv6 address into IPv4, and then the router's doing its own NAT for the local devices, and that can cause issues as well.
Yep.
So you pick one. Pick your poison, Pete.
Hey, I didn't say I wanted to jump in using it. Let's see. Alternative Reality says I like to use cloud backup, and the servers are limited to how fast I can upload. And the difference between 500 and a gig is like $50 a month. So I'd rather buy something that would make a difference. Makes sense. Or give me joy, even better.
There's no joy in this wicked world.
Yeah. Medardo said he got a letter in the mail advertising 5G home internet from Verizon, went to the website and the information about the service is not available for my address. Why did they mail me then? They mailed that to you for one reason and one reason only. They had a postal budget, and they're probably offering it in Phoenix proper, but not in the outskirts.
Well, Pete, the fact, well, two things. One, I could say the same thing about T-Mobile, man. I don't know why they even bother sending out their marketing flyers for T-Mobile home internet when it's so ass. And there's fiber and coax here, but
hey, at least in some locations, they send it to places to actually get the service.
But secondarily, in the example of my buddy I was telling you about, he's the one that I told you that has like Blue Devil cable, which is like super regional.
Yep.
He literally lives literally you can see the cell site from outside this house where C-band is, and Verizon doesn't offer the 5G product there. They only sell the LTE product, which I found hilarious.
Man.
That's a website issue. I told him we're gonna go to the store later today, and we're gonna try to get him the actual equipment. That, or we're just gonna use an address out in Vegas.
Go
ahead.
You know, for a lot of things, I have addresses I can do in Vegas. It's rather nice. Not that I've had to take advantage of them.
I mean, bro, you saw the speed. You saw the speed that I was getting at his house, so he'll definitely be getting great performance. Because right now, he gets 400 by 10 for like $90 with a 1 terabyte cap.
Ugh, 1 terabyte cap.
Yeah. And his ping times are god-awful because the provider that he has just recently upgraded from DOCSIS 2.0 to 3. And they're not doing low latency DOCSIS, so the ping times are like 20 milliseconds.
Wait, 3, not 3.1?
Yep, you heard me.
Good lord.
Dude, Blue Devil Cable only offers service in 2 towns. That's it. They do not have the money to invest in doing upgrades. The fact that they even made it a 3.0 is a miracle all in of itself.
Yep. But they do things pretty rural, right?
They are in a town that has a population of 1,000 people and another town that maybe has a population of 800 people. That is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, they're rural.
Yeah. Here, Pete, let me link you their website so you can just see the joys of it real quick here.
Oh boy, oh boy.
You're gonna love it, man. The security nut in you is gonna love it. Here, there's that, and then I'm gonna send you one other one real quick.
Hey,
here are the two.
At
here
least
are the
they
two
have a valid cert.
Here are the 2 providers that are available in his area. You're gonna get a real kick out of the Hickory one, bro. Hickory Telephone, you're gonna get a real kick out of that one.
Alternative Reality, by the way, says caps suck. The kids watch YouTube all the time, and it would blow through it in no time.
Actually, not true. If they're just watching YouTube, YouTube doesn't use that much that much data, to be honest.
Depends on the content. If they're watching 4K.
I mean, even 4K YouTube doesn't like in comparison to other streaming services, like say HBO Max and 4K. YouTube uses barely anything.
Yeah.
Like my parents, they stream that like literally that's all they do, and their usage has gone up with time. But like they're only using maybe like 600 gigabytes as a household, and they stream YouTube TV all the time. Like what I mean all the time, like they literally leave that TV on as white noise all the time, kind of deal.
I could take advantage of that.
What, YouTube TV?
Yeah, leaving it on all the time. Because I have no bandwidth things.
Yep, I have no data cap either with Verizon, which is good. That was part of the reason for switching, although Comcast also does not have a cap implemented out here on the East Coast. They pushed that back yet again. So
you'd think a company that did data buckets for cell phones for government and enterprise would give you data caps on fiber.
You're talking about Verizon?
Oh, yeah.
You would think that, but
they don't.
Considering that Comcast has been trying and literally getting their assholes ripped apart by the Attorney General, I think Verizon probably saw that and learned a lesson. And then also worth mentioning too, but I know Verizon's an idiot, but I think they're smart enough to know that if they implemented data caps, in all sincerity, they would probably lose a lot of customers to Comcast simply because from a pricing situation, Comcast is generally speaking cheaper, at least when we're talking about their promotional prices, than Verizon. So the only reasons why you would switch to Verizon are if A, you're smart enough, if you are techie enough to understand the benefits of fiber and symmetrical speed, and B, to get away from the data cap that Comcast has, because outside of those two things, there's really not that much merit to switching from Comcast, generally speaking.
Yeah. I do like these comments in the chat from Alternative Reality regarding data caps. Well, actually, Medardo says his daughter and him use about 1.4 terabits a month just watching TV. And that's on the T-Mobile home internet?
I mean...
And Alternative Reality says, let's just cut to the chase. My torrent server.
I mean, I can believe it, I guess, but I sincerely believe that people really overestimate just how much data they actually use.
I'm just happy I don't have a dashboard to see how much data I use.
Ubiquiti Dream Machine Pro, bro.
No, like, my ISP, I'm happy the ISP doesn't give me a dashboard.
Yeah, Verizon doesn't have one. Or, let me rephrase that. They have one, but it's always broken.
My ISP just doesn't have a dashboard.
I mean, generally speaking, when I was with Comcast, I would average around a terabyte. And when I made the switch to Fios, now I average about 2 terabytes per month. And a good chunk of that usage is just because of the security cameras.
Makes sense.
Specifically the fact that they are 4K security cameras.
Yep. 4K takes a lot of bandwidth.
Although this month my usage will probably be higher because I just recently did a let me just double check. Yeah, I just recently did a 4 terabyte backup.
Only 4 tera?
Yeah.
So apparently Medardo's T-Mobile home internet is slow, but he's able to use 1.4 terabytes of streaming on it.
Well, Let's do the math.
Hey, if you think about it, it keeping up for that long is nothing to complain about. Considering, in my opinion, their main competitor, HughesNet, caps you vastly below the terabyte mark. So
yeah, so I'm doing some quick calculations real quick here.
And I'm just playing a game and talking. Gives me something to do if there's nobody to talk to. Ow.
So I did the math. I mean, he could easily use that amount of data so long as he's stably getting at least 30 megabits per second for his download speed.
Yep. Which, again, in my opinion, T-Mobile's primary competitor is the satellite companies like HughesNet and, what is it, Viasat?
Starlink and Starlink.
Starlink doesn't have the same availability as all three, so, but potentially
I would say
Starlink.
that they are a more aggressive competitor, though, because their performance is actually, in some instances, arguably better.
Yeah, so let's say potentially Starlink, but
Do you think that cable is a competitor to T-Mobile home internet?
No. I'd say T-Mobile home internet is appearing to be a competitor to cable.
That's what I mean. Do you think that it is?
Well, when you consider some people would rather pay a lower price and lower their bill, deemed the compromise like, oh, this is going to save me $30 to $40 a month, I'm only going to be getting half the speeds.
It is never going to save people that much unless they were paying for gigabit.
What I'm getting at is some people will dip over that.
Yeah. I mean, as we talked about, price will do a lot of things. But at the end of the day, though, I wouldn't call it. I disagree with Sneed heavily when it comes to where fixed wireless fits in the market. From like a performance and technological standpoint, I don't see it actually. Like, I guess I should define it this way. Good cable will always be better than fixed wireless. If price is the thing that becomes an issue, then Comcast, the person, or cable in general, who has 70% of the broadband market share, can easily reduce pricing to stay price competitive, and at which point there is no reason to switch to T-Mobile home internet outside of maybe customer service, which I would argue is both shit at both companies because corporations suck.
Yeah. You do, in my opinion, you do not jump to, you do not rely on customer service. And quite frankly, I'm a believer of if you have a good product, you don't need customer service.
Yes, the best customer service is the ones where I don't have to actually interact with customer service.
Oh, hell yeah.
Cough, cough, AT&T, cough, cough.
Yep. Wait, you don't have to interact with AT&T's customer service?
Literally, over the past 10 years, I've interacted with AT&T's customer service a total of 5 times. And 3 of those times were in regards to when I was trying to do the whole swap to eSIM and end up upgrading to Elite, and I had to get the credits for those 3 months of bills where they credit me in full until everything kind of worked out.
Yep.
And then before that, the only other 2 times was back when I upgraded to a Note 4. I had to take advantage of an RMA because the camera was like defective, specifically the optical image stabilization was like broken. And TLDR ended up with 2 Note 4s because whatever. And then the other time was because I want to say something along the lines of the legacy plan that we had was no longer available, and we were supposed to be bumped up to a new plan, but they ended up downgrading our plan with reduced data. And that was like no bueno. So like we had to like get that fixed. So a total of 5 times in the past 10 years, 3 of which were recent, and I haven't had to talk to them since.
Not bad. I only talk to T-Mobile's customer service when I register a new SIM card.
T-Mobile in the same time span over the course of 10 years, I've had to talk to them, I think, about 25 times.
Man. Any billing issues?
Of course.
How are they getting your bill wrong?
You tell me.
I don't know. So,
no, I mean, jokes aside, I mean, a lot of the calls had to do with the breaches, right? Every time there was a fucking breach, I had to call in to get my PIN changed and do all that fun shit, right?
Yep.
And then there was the frequent service outage issues, the you name it problems, the issues that came when they fucked me over when trying to switch over to the free line deal, like so many problems, right? I'm just saying, out of all the carriers, I've had to talk to them the most.
Interesting. I'm actually... So, Moderna says his brother had a satellite provider. I'm curious what his brother is currently using for internet.
Well, while you were talking, I'm going to quickly walk away from the mic, and I'll be back in probably like 5 minutes.
Okay. And indeed, always lucky when you don't have to deal with Spectrum. I remember my last personal interaction with Comcast. Curse is worse than Dennis here. I was basically trying to artfully, like, thick of it method of telling him where to shove it. And for those of you who have been watching this game, me play this game, I'm about to finish it. Man, having to call customer service over a free phone promo that stopped. So,
I am back. So what?
So, Medardo, or Medardu, or tell me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, said his biggest issue with T-Mobile was getting a free phone deal and then not getting credited.
Yeah, that's a common one. I'll tell you something else that and I thought about it when I was going downstairs to grab some tea. This is a somewhat more recent example, but do you remember when T-Mobile was first rolling out 5G and one of the things they needed people to do was switch their SIM cards?
Yep. Although I never had that issue.
Well, I got a text message on my phone saying I had like a 5G phone. I need to go swap my SIM card. I went to the store and I showed them the text. and those assholes were basically trying to force me to pay to get a replacement SIM card, even though T-Mobile said I needed a new SIM card.
I always call 611 for my SIM cards, but...
I mean, common sense dictates it'd be easier just to go to the store and... Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you literally live, like, well, at the time, I was living at the apartment, so I shit you not, I was literally 2 turns, like, away from going to the store.
That's pretty darn close.
Actually, even less than 2 turns. I was 1 turn away from the store because I went after work, and at that time we were still in person, so boom.
And, yeah, I didn't have to do that. But, Medardo. Yeah, I basically only buy my phones from OEM.
It is, I like to do that, but it's very challenging to do when you're in the Android camp.
Why is that? I'd go to store.google.com.
If you're Pixel, it's easy, but if it's something like, say, up until recent history, Samsung, for example, used to make different models of their phones, so you had to get the branded phone if you wanted to have the correct firmware, because it didn't always used to change, because it didn't used to be where if you plugged in the SIM card, it would just load the correct boot file. It used to be like, once you had that firmware, you were stuck with that firmware, if you remember.
Hey, that Fold 2 I'm rocking doesn't work that way. So...
That changed after the S9. That's when Samsung finally changed it, but it wasn't that long ago.
Yep.
That it wasn't that way. Oh, on a side note, by the way, I have surpassed over 500,000 data points collected on Cell Mapper.
Ooh.
You proud of me?
You're almost to the million. Good job.
I know. I drove like 300 miles all over frickin' Pittsburgh, man. I have a better understanding of the Pittsburgh market now than ever before.
Good.
Oh. You know, speaking of good news, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter or not, but did you hear about the whole Pittsburgh Blackout that happened for like 24 hours to 48 hours for some people?
No.
Yeah, we had a hell of a winter storm. I had no power for over 24 hours at my house. It literally got so cold that it was like 32 degrees inside, and some people actually went longer without power.
Oof.
But the good news is that and this is like a sincere, like, I'm proud of moment. T-Mobile didn't go out when the power went out. That is huge.
Nice.
They actually added backup power to most of their sites. I will say most of. Not all of, but most of.
Hey.
So I am proud of them.
You know, small blessings.
No, jokes aside, that is an actual huge thing. That is a big improvement from a reliability standpoint, because it used to be if power went out, T-Mobile went out with it.
Yep. Alternative Reality says AT&T's promoting 5G in my area, but I could get 5G from AT&T. Could get no matter what I tried. SIM swapping, multiple visits. Sir. Oh, so you could not get 5G despite all the propaganda and attempts.
I mean, what phone are you using, Ricardo?
What phones was he using? It sounds like he tried multiple phones.
Well, I mean, I'm just asking, like, did he even have a 5G phone? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, what phone were you using? Like, we talking a recent phone or a not recent phone?
I mean, just model. Just, like, model of phone. Like, iPhone 12, iPhone 13, Galaxy S20. Galaxy S21. Sony Xperia 1. Well, no, that phone can't get 5G. There we go.
You'd think they'd tell them that in the store.
Yep, you have a phone that cannot get 5G. It's not.
AT&T says a lot of things are on the list.
It's not.
If you're in New York, AT&T also says things like Grand Central Station is on the list. But I tell you, you go to Grand Central Station in New York, AT&T's not on your list.
Listen, Sony makes great stuff. I'm a big lover of Sony camera, headphones, TVs, and many other products they make. But if there's one thing that they don't do well, or let me rephrase that, if there's one thing that they make but doesn't do well in the US, or basically most of North America, that is their phones. You're not going to have a great time using their phones here in the US. And as far as 5G goes, and you can literally look on Sony's website, the only carrier that phone technically has any support for 5G for would be Verizon. Otherwise, it's 4G on T-Mobile and AT&T.
Man. Later, Medardo.
You know, hot take, and this would be very unpopular, especially because I know international travelers are a thing, but hot take, I feel like carriers should not activate phones unless they've been fully certified to work with them, period. It would probably solve a lot of issues.
Oh, yeah.
Very spicy, I know, but better to have a phone that actually works on the network than one that's partially compliant.
Hey. Can't argue with you there.
I will also just throw out and just say you're not missing out on much, by the way, when it comes to AT&T's 5G, just also saying.
Nah, their LTE's where it's at.
Honestly, even to this day, their LTE network is so bloody good that it still can compete with N41 and even Verizon C-band. Despite how awesome Verizon C-band is, their LTE is just that damn good.
Yep. And, hey, alternative reality. Family first. Hey, look, I beat the game.
Wait. Oh, okay. See you, man. I was wondering what you were talking about with family first. Hey, so Pete, did you watch the T-Mobile unboxing event for the S22?
Nope.
Well, are you going to get an S22?
Nope.
You say no?
I said no.
Oh.
Yeah.
I am somewhat surprised. I mean, I know you're a Pixel lover, but I'm also somewhat surprised. I would have figured you'd been really excited to get your hands on the new modem.
I'm interested, but don't really have the funds.
I mean, I'm unemployed. Wait, is there no Ultra this year? Is it just the Basic and the Plus?
I'd be surprised if there was no Ultra. Maybe
that's like.
Maybe that's a Verizon exclusive for the, I don't know.
No, it's carrier exclusive. What the fuck? You can't. All right, so if you want to get it, all right, so you can't get the Ultra unlocked. You have to get it through a carrier.
What?
Yeah.
Okay then. So I'm not gonna.
That's nice. They're doing a pretty aggressive trade-in deal though, which actually makes me kind of want it.
Yeah, but if the Ultra is carrier exclusive, they're not gonna get my money.
Well,
dude, unlocked or bust.
I mean, it can get unlocked afterwards.
Yeah, but the phones I use, I have at least 2 SIMs in at all times, and they're not these.
Well, that's why the iPhone is my primary phone now. But see the thing, and then here's the big problem. You ready? I want to get this phone so I can put the lowest Verizon SIM in it because that's the network that would have the most benefit from the new chipset. And then I want to put the S21 on the T-Mobile SIM and get rid of my S20 Plus since it can't do carrier ag. It hurts my soul to say that, by the way, because expandable storage. I have a big ass like SIM card in there that I don't know what I'm gonna do with. But if I have to get through a carrier, then the only carrier I can get through that makes sense would be T-Mobile. Yeah. Because I don't want to do it on AT&T because my AT&T line's on the eSIM for my iPhone, so it's like, ugh. This hurts. This hurts my soul.
Hello, PA Central Tech. Did you catch Dennis saying how much the S22 Max is gonna hurt his soul?
Ultra and
whatever. Yeah, but if I can't get an unlocked phone for certain specs and whatnot, they're not getting my business.
See, and here's the bigger problem, and this is the reason why I would have to get the Ultra. The Ultra is the only one that has the 512 gigabyte option.
Yeah.
The Plus and the basic one cap at 256, and considering that I have over 380 gigabytes of storage on my Galaxy S20, that is a big problem.
Oh yeah. So
I am currently looking at the specs on it. I can't see myself realistically going back to Samsung. Because I've already converted to iPhone, and I honestly have no regrets at this point, for the very reason of Samsung doing this tomfuckery. But or just Android in general having this tomfuckery. Like
which tomfoolery?
Fuckery. Let's get it right. But no. Well, specifically, like, all right. So, if you're gonna support expandable storage, then I expect you to continue to support expandable storage. If you're going to go to this idea of no expandable storage, then you have to have higher storage options available on all your different models. That's something that iPhone does a really good job with, right?
Yeah.
And Android does not. Most Android manufacturers tend to go with one storage model, and if they do make other storage models, the other ones are usually never available, or there's always these like caveats about like has to be this, this, and this. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Look, man, iPhone just works. There are things that I miss from my Samsung when it comes to app design, like specifically when it comes to Google Maps being the native Maps thing, because other apps and open up Apple Maps, which I kind of dislike.
Yeah.
But overall, the iPhone just works, and that's great. It's not a good testing device, but it works.
Hey, if you're in the market for it just working, that's good.
I am in the market for just working because I got tired of having phones that just didn't work.
I've had no complaints with my Pixel and T-Mobile, and I'm happy with
that. All right, let me rephrase that. The phone worked great with one carrier. I got tired of not having a phone that could work with my multiple carriers.
Yep.
Does that make more sense?
Makes perfect sense. By the way, I finished the game I was playing and it only took me 9 hours.
I see that.
Yeah.
Also, on a side note as well, you know how I just said I don't like Apple Maps? That's actually partially untrue. I don't mind Apple Maps because I've been using it because of Grubhub. Like I said, that's the thing that opens up when you open up an address in Grubhub. There's actually some features that I actually like more that I hope Google Maps introduces. Specifically, I really appreciate how on Apple Maps, if there's stop signs or like red lights and stuff, it actually shows on the map.
Wait,
and it will tell you like
wait, back it up. By the way, how are you doing today, PA Tech Central? But stop sign, like, does it tell you if the lights are green, or is it just like there's a traffic light there?
No, like there's a traffic light there.
Okay. Because if it was telling you in real time if it was red or green, look at your freak out your window, not your phone.
No, it just tells you if there's a light there. But I appreciate that as it's useful for when I'm driving, so I know to slow down ahead of time. But also, like when it gives a thing, right? It'll say go past this light, now make a turn. Whereas Google Maps will be like just make a turn 800 feet. Like Apple Maps will be like go past light, then make turn. I appreciate that descriptor. It's very helpful. And also, like if there's a turn coming up, it'll be like make sure to stay in this lane because you're going to be making a turn up here type of deal. Very helpful stuff. Google
Yeah.
Maps doesn't do that. But my problem with Apple Maps is that, and this is also something I rely on, Google Maps, you know how it shows you the speed limit for different roads?
Yep.
I've gotten so accustomed to just using that instead of looking at the signs. I know, bad driver, but I got so.
Actually, in some locations, like when you turn on a road in an odd location in a rural area,
Mm-hmm.
it's a good 5 to 10 miles from where I've been driving where you get another speed sign. Just be able to start on the road and glance down and see that you're supposed to be going 50, not 65 is great, especially in those counties where they make their money off speeding tickets.
It is great. The only problem is that Apple Maps very inaccurate with their speeds. Google Maps much more accurate.
I think I know why Google Maps is more accurate with the speeds.
Is it because they have the money to actually send out more drivers through the scans? Because I've literally seen them drive out in the bumfuck middle of nowhere, including my town that I grew up.
Yeah, Street View. They have AI. They have an AI algorithm for those Street View signs, where they will pick out the speed for the road.
Right, but it also helps they actually drove those roads before, which Apple Maps has not done.
Yep. So,
And it also helps that they collect a butt ton of data, unlike Apple Maps, which does not do that.
oh yeah.
So yeah, Google Maps is more accurate and generally more reliable, but Apple Maps has features that are honestly make it for a much better driving experience. And I really hope that Google actually learns a lesson from Apple and incorporates the whole stoplight, stop sign thing.
And then there's me who grew up using a road atlas, and
And MapQuest.
no, not MapQuest, a road atlas.
Oh yeah, you're talking about one of those books that we used to sell at the gas station. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, to me, the only real benefit I get from like Google Maps is to know if there's construction.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something honest and upfront. In school, we actually got taught how to use those atlases. We got taught how to use them,
Yeah.
like when we took our driver's ed classes and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, straight up in the face, if you gave me one of those, I
You'd
could
have
not
no
give you
idea.
directions. I mean, I could figure it out. Like, okay, here's the thing. If I was in the passenger seat, okay, and you were driving, yes, I could figure it out. If I was driving and trying to use that, I would get into a wreck.
Man. Guess I'm older than you.
But you are older than me by about 15 years.
Yep.
Aren't you 40?
34.
Oh. Well, you are older than me by 9 years.
Yep. That I am.
Oh yeah, Pete, did you see my shaved head? I finally just shaved it all the way down and said fuck it.
Nope, I have not seen that.
Here. I'll send you a picture. Semi-old picture, but here.
You sending it on the Discord?
No, text message, old school.
So the next question is, since I largely talk with people either in chat or I guess Discord. Hey, that's pretty darn shaved.
Yeah, I told you, man. All the way down.
Is that a
Do you approve?
supermarket for the second one?
That's a Sheetz gas station.
I don't approve or disapprove. So, real quick, I'm gonna get up and use the bathroom.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna throw on start playing another game on the stream.
I think what I'm going to do is...
Any thoughts on... Do you have any recommendations for a game?
For a game, it depends on what kind of game you're in the mood for. Are you trying to stay with retro, or are you open to whatever?
At the moment, I'm focusing on doing Switch or, Super Nintendo NES type stuff. Bonus if it's on Nintendo Switch Online.
Don't know if it's... Well, definitely not online. It might be on Switch. There's a game called Curse of the Dead Gods that I'd highly recommend.
Don't have it. Let me look it up. In my description, I actually have a list of the games I have. Curse of the Dead Gods.
Yes.
What is this for?
I mean, I have it on Steam. I think it's on Switch. I'm not 100% sure. But it's great because it has a lot of replay value, but also can be short at the same time.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying. It is... Are you familiar with, like, the genre type, like, rogue? Like, the roguelike genre?
Closest I have is Binding of Isaac. And,
I love Binding of Isaac.
Welcome back, Alternative Reality, and hello, Dan Bat. I mean, I could throw on Binding of Isaac Rebirth for a little bit.
Binding of Isaac is a hell of a game. I got a lot of achievements on that game.
Hey, I got a lot of play out of that game, too.
Yeah, man. I have it both on the Switch and on Steam. I actually got into it first on the Switch and then bought it on Steam and prefer playing it on the PC version, especially because of the mod support in the community.
Hey, that's generally one of the perks of doing Steam. I don't think I have your Switch friend code, so when I grab my Switch when I come back, I'm gonna add you in there.
That's great. I don't know what it is, but my Switch is somewhere downstairs.
Go grab it.
It needs probably charged, and it's collecting dust.
Okay then. But I'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes.
Alright. Well, I have usurped another show. This is now my channel as well. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, Alternate Reality has a question. I have a question for Dennis. I love Google Voice, but I notice the sound quality is just not as good. Any ideas on how to improve it? None that I can think of off the rip. I mean, your audio quality is going to be heavily dependent on your data connection because it's a VoIP service. Outside of that, I mean, no, I can't think of anything. Dan Bat, you're more than welcome. I'll be honest, I don't use Google Voice. So, or I should say, I don't use Google Voice that often for anything. Oh, no, my name's Dennis. You got it right. I am Dennis. Pete's the one that went to go to the bathroom. It's his channel. I'm Dennis. I'm from the Best Phone Plans channel. I don't know if you ever heard of us, but I do a podcast with Stetson. dog it on YouTube. Just look up best phone plans. In fact, I know Pete won't mind. Best phone plans, YouTube. Pete sometimes comes on the show. He's a really cool dude. I actually flew out to Colorado and saw him. Here, best phone plan channel. Me and Pete? I mean, we're friends. I mean, I flew out to see Stetson, but obviously I had a good time with Pete. We drank a few brewskis and had some good food at a local place that he recommended. I don't know how Pete feels. We don't talk that much, though. I don't know. Hey, Pete.
What's up?
It was a question from Dan Bat. Are we best friends?
We're good friends. I don't know how to classify a best friend, though.
That was my thought.
So like,
but we are good friends.
Yeah, we're good friends. Best friend, I don't... It's been so long since I've actually had a, had to do that type of distinction. I don't even know.
I feel like we just don't well, I mean, your friendship reminds me of a friendship I used to have with a best friend that's no longer a best friend, but where like we just pick up and keep talking like it was. But on the same token, I feel like we just don't interact enough to be of the best friend category.
It's like you're old, you live in different parts of the country.
Yeah, like if your car went down, I couldn't just give you a lift. Like I just got done doing that for what I would consider a best friend. His car battery died, and he took it to an auto repair store, and they fucked it up. So he had to take it to the actual dealership to get it fixed. And so I was giving him a ride to work and stuff. That's best friend level stuff.
That's good friend, great friend level stuff. So, there we go. Yeah.
So before you get into that game, that other game that I recommended, would that be up your alley or no?
It might be, and I'll definitely look into it.
You should. Do you like strategy games at all, or not so much?
I'm down for some strategy games.
Have you ever played Hearts Iron 4?
Nope.
It's on sale on Steam right now. DM me your Steam name.
Let's see. What is my Steam name?
Or I should say it was on sale for a while. Basically, though, I'll just say I have over 713 hours played on the game to give you some perspective on how much I enjoy that game.
Must be a damn good game.
Did you?
I sent you the
It is a damn good game. Yeah, I'm adding you right now. Add a friend.
Are you best friends? Best friends tend to drift away, especially when they move. I mean...
Yeah, I just sent you a friend request.
I have some people that I consider, extended family. They end up getting airport rides from me. Simply because,
Yeah, I wish I would have known that when I was in Vegas, because I would have just did that from you. Oh, well. I know it was an offer after the fact, but oh well. I will just say, Pete knows this. He will not challenge me to a buffet eating competition because he knows that I will out eat him any day of the week.
That and I also don't eat at buffets, so.
Yeah, ironically enough, I haven't eaten yet today. That's also going to be a thing on the agenda, is actually eating food.
I cooked breakfast a little earlier. So
I was watching a video on TikTok of a person making pancakes on a rice cooker.
Doesn't make any sense.
I know. Oh, Pete, I bought a Costco membership.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just to get gas.
Interesting. Is gas worth it, in your opinion?
Well, when I was in Vegas, yes, but I was using Greg's Costco membership card for that. Here in Pittsburgh, no, it's only 5 cents.
That boy has
Wait, what?
That boy has a Costco membership?
Yeah, why?
I don't know, he seems kind of young.
What does age have to do with having a membership to Costco?
I don't know, I thought like you needed a certain age to get in. I don't know.
No, anyone over the age of 18.
Getting used to these controls again, by the way.
All good, but going back to what I was saying, so in Pittsburgh now, it's only 5 cents less. I wish I would have got Sam's Club because they're 50 cents less, but I'm sure that will change. And
there
I'm
was
sure
apparently
things will change more as
T-Mobile Tuesday offer recently for a $15 Sam's Club membership.
Fuck me. Okay.
And I don't shop there, so.
I mean, the problem with Costco and Sam's Club is they sell things in such large quantities that I can't realistically consume it.
What's that? Let's see. I used to cook pasta in rice cooker, but pancakes, that's another level, so you have to balance overheating sensor with batter. You know, I don't know how any of these kids come up with any of the stuff they do. And quite frankly, most of the time it seems like I live under a rock. Oh, hold up, Dennis. What's the rating on Binding of Isaac?
M.
Gotta change my stream characteristics.
So, Grubhub says they paid me, but I don't see where the earnings went, and that is concerning.
It went to them. Not designed for kids. Should be good. So, rice cookers are a heating filament on an electromagnet. So the way it works is you put in a prescribed amount of water, and they use pressure to regulate how much heat and temperature goes in. And based on all those characteristics, when the water is done, it stops boiling. They're about as smart as a toaster. Literally. Weirdest place I've ever made pancakes, by the way.
One.
Toaster oven. When I was single, my rice cooker was great. 'Cause I did not have a kitchen per se. Later, I added an inductive heat plate. Inductive heat plates are useful for cooking.
Well, Pete, I'm going to be making a call, that I don't want to be on the live YouTube for, and I'm going to be getting ready for my day of helping out my friend get hooked up with Verizon.
Step off, and good talking with you.
Yep, I will hop on the Discord if they're still here later, but if not, yes. Okay, peace.
Peace, man. Hey, alternative reality, do you have any game you'd like to see played? Was it you who said something about Ocarina of Time or Shining Force? Tell you what, after I game over, we'll throw in some more Ocarina. I see that coming rather quick, considering I haven't played this in 2 years. Heading to work for my Call of Duty. You getting a Call of Duty game, or is the work the Call of Duty? You're doing tech support. Any fun? What type of tech support do you do? Is it like computer tech support or? Does that pay well? Get good benefits? Indeed, it does depend on your expectation. So... Hey, that's one thing you can say about public sector. Your jobs are fairly stable. You know, the interesting thing about Ocarina of Time is it will probably take me less than 9 hours to finish the game. If you're a full stack developer, nothing to see there. I'm really bad with UI stuff, so I don't consider myself full stack, but I know the integration between the back end and the front end. But back in my day, I was really used to plain text interfaces. Down and left. So I'm gonna try and not even visit the Great Deku. I still have to do some programming every now and then, but, I try to avoid it. So, no lie, playing this with a, Pro controller, it's gonna be a little interesting. But, you know. All I can say is software guys are a pain in the neck, especially when you have to support them. I can't play this game with Z-Lock. So... Hey, if it didn't pay the bills, there'd be some issues. Most of the work I do is technical support related too, so... By the way, I don't feel like talking to seeing the Great Deku Tree. So I'm just gonna... leave the forest. Yeah, there's a way to get past him. Nah, it's glitching him under. So if you notice, we're clipping into the wall geometry. The idea is to clip him so far in he falls under. I have not done it on this version of the game, but have on my cartridge. Although there's also another way to bypass having to do the Deku Tree that I might give a go. If I can get Navi up again. Oh. And not worth it. There's a, bypass into Zora's domain in the Lost Woods, too. All I need is for Navi to pop out. Because apparently if I'm talking with her, I can dive off here and land on the bottom. Eh. Tell you the truth, I do wish they ported this. Because it's so tempting to have the right stick and not be able to use it for the camera. Eh, screw it, I'm just gonna go to the Deku tree. do. Stinks that there's a Nintendo 64 controller you can pair with the Switch, but they're currently out of stock at Nintendo. Mappings get weird in this too. I mean, you're a Nintendo 3DS. I have the Ocarina of Time 3D on that too. But not the greatest of setups. Okay, that's inverted. Oh, the 2DS. "2DS is probably the only handheld console from Nintendo I've not personally purchased." I never had vertigo from the 3DS. Guess I don't have eye issues, or too many. Hey Troy, how's it going? Ah, man. How's the day been treating you, Troy? Right, I want to break for a few. Breaks are good. Are they, how's the workday been for you? Has it been a pleasant work day, or so much of a pain in the neck the break is just... 3 fiber installs, 1 to go. Who are you installing fiber for again? Sorry, I may have forgotten. Windstream. What's required for your fiber installs? Is this mainly ditch digging, or... Are you digging trenches, or... Like, what's required for their fiber installs? No, above ground. So is this, just the last mile and not the infrastructure, then? Pole to pole. Wait, you're hanging it? Well, color me impressed. Hanging fiber. my local fiber is buried up until we get to the point where we get it taken into the house. So, do you, like, patch it through the walls? So, I do fiber to inside the house. So you also connect the terminator for them. So, the next question is, when you do the installs, are the customers, like, psyched that they're finally getting 21st century internet? I love me some 21st century internet. The most interesting thing with the guy who set up mine was he told me he was not allowed to accept offers of, like, a beer or two to drink while actually setting the thing up. Because I was so ready to give him one. Hey. When he set it up, I was finally able to tell Comcast where to shove it, so... And you'd think working with Comcast, they'd be used to people telling it to shove it. not their. I wasn't. I'm not Comcast's largest fan. I'm sure their retentions department loved me too. So I spoke with Dennis earlier regarding 4G security issues that might not be fully mitigated by converting to 5G. So I may end up trying to create a smaller video with that, and I should write that on my whiteboard. Oh, it was my response. Let's see, we're on the 9th. My response was, there are several things that happen with the gateway and the how you connect to the tower that going to standalone 5G hopefully mitigates with how to clone user equipment. Windstream has grown 6% in the past 3 years. Not in my city, but some parts of my metro area, we still have issues with DSL. Which is astounding. So, one of the people I work with, she has a DSL line She has a DSL line, and I busted out my T-Mobile hotspot near her window, and my upload is 3 times faster than her downloads. Her downloads are about 15 megs a second. My uploads are about 30 megs a second, if not 50. Welcome back, Medardo. Downloads are about 7 times. Well, Baby Yoda, the first hour and a half I finished that, A Link to the Past randomizer. It took me 9 hours. Alternative Reality said, do work rate of time, so I'm doing some work rate of time. Although, now that I've beat the first temple, I could do Shining Force. I think, either Baby Yoda... I think it was Baby Yoda who brought up... Yep. We offer in some areas 200, some... So some of your DSL areas, Troy, you can do 200 down. Thanks for stopping in, and good to hear. After this cutscene, yeah, you have a good one too. After this cutscene, I may bring up Shining Force. I think this Pro Controller may need to get a little used to. I also think I play this game a little better than A Link to the Past. So... Hey, if I could get 200 down 50 up on DSL, I wouldn't be saying, hey, maybe T-Mobile home internet would be better. She's paying $90 for 15 down, 1 up. To me, that's not broadband. But if you could do 200 down, 50 up over, you know, a phone line, damn good. How goes work today, Baby Yoda? By the way, Dennis opened the floodgates. If anybody's interested, could do a Discord voice chat on this. What new job are you doing? So you'll be the one to blame if that payment software company Okay, that's interesting. Maybe it's switching line. You'd be the one to blame if that payment software company's payment software starts going wonky. So it's on you. So it will be your fault if their ticketing system actually works. Well, here's to hoping that your projects go smoothly. Back into what after you finish your MBA? Also, do you like PowerPoint? Ah. Do you like PowerPoint? Hey, that's all I know about MBAs. Say like PowerPoint and see if the numbers are going well. Here we go. Shining Force. Hey, I like writing research papers too. But I guess those are two different things. Hey, what should I name my character here? What should I name the character? Let me check to see if the Sega Genesis collection I have on the Switch has Shining Force 2. Okay. Actually, hold on a second. I don't need me some online software to play a game I have on offline software. Because I don't trust online digital rights management. This is Sega Genesis Classics on the Switch. Notorious for not having Sonic 3. Later alternative reality. There's Fantasy Star, Rise Star, Shining Force 1. and Shining Force 2. Damon Sneedling. I don't like phone emulation, to tell you the truth. Exactly. Well, at least with this one you have two now. Keep yourself busy. You have a point there. You have... Thought that was locked. So, are you going to... Baby Yoda, are you gonna see if there are any security issues with the, software you're looking at? Or... is it just to keep the people using it placated for features like undo buttons? Sorry to wonder what year this came out because the interface feels a lot like Dragon Quest. Okay, they apparently don't want me to exit. Wow, I got a long text message. So if you check my game listing for the NES, I have 1 through, and actually, NES Super Famicom. I have physical cartridges of Dragon Quest 1 through 6 on those. And I think I have 8 and 9. And 11. Let me double check my 3DS. Well, I have physical Dragon Quests 1 through 8, and I also have a physical 11. The most recent was Dragon Quest XI, which was released on Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. There is a Dragon Quest X MMO in Japan. for the Wii U and Switch. Now I'm wondering why I didn't get Dragon Quest IX. That was a cute tower climb. What have I been destined for? Hope it has nothing to do with the daughter. You know, this is actually the first time I've played any form of Genesis emulation. I played through Phantasy Star for Master System on the Switch, but never a Genesis game. I think I'm at the point where I have to leave town. Wow, 5-member party? Headquarters. Man, 6 party members. I mean, played a lot of Sonic games growing up. But most of my time was on the NES. Spent a lot of time playing the NES. Okay, now where is their base at the castle? I think I found it. Oh, I'm holding a trigger and speeding it up. I can also roll back. I think I can leave. Yeah, so the left, the like R1, no, R2 and L2s. allow for fast forward and rewind. Although I must say it is a little tricky to run fast forward. Ooh, 100 gold. Figured I'd shift my head over since there are, sometimes faces in the left corner. Medical herb. Interesting. Okay, this is actually pretty cool. Kind of like Fire Emblem. They don't appear to want to fight me, though. I'm assuming because this is a tutorial, they're not on the aggressive. Okay, that actually makes sense. Played a bunch of games with that type of dynamic. Like, I know in one of the recent Fire Emblems, if the hero died, with the permadeath on or off, you just outright lost the battle. So I was actually expecting them to be aggressive in this. Also, I'm assuming they either require 100 XP to level up, or level ups are done after battles. Oof. Watch him crit for 12 damage. Nope. Well, we'll figure it out. Ow. Nope, they level up mid-battle. Yeah, bash him with your cane healer. At least the hero gets better update status, like level XP stuff than Mage did. I'm hoping the allies don't have permadeath. I'm half tempted to go back to before I lost the allies, but I'm assuming I can revive my allies when I get back to town. Maybe I was a tad reckless with them. Nice. Kind of feel like I'm taking a Hannibal approach here. Going around the mountains. Did Subby post? Technoid apparently has a video. About Verizon C-band. He'll get a crit or something. No. No level up on him. Jeez, the archer skipped a turn. Ooh, 2 attacks, 1 defenses, speeds, hit points. Go after this goblin. Technoid apparently almost has 5K subscribers. So I'm probably going to be at this for another 15 minutes. Got a little bit of work to do. So... But yeah, Baby Yoda, this game is up my alley. Thanks for the recommendation again. Speed up's pretty nice too. Owie. Damn, he did a double attack. Couldn't main character do a double attack? Yeah, let me roll that back and heal the archer. Man, Lowe's out of MPs. Ooh, double attack. I wouldn't mind seeing more double attacks. Hey, level 4. You got more MP. Kinda stinks that is, the archer, only the archer's speed increases on level up, but... Get all the knights for the coin. Actually, you know what? Back it up. Oh, that was... Man, wouldn't mind bashing this guy with the healer. See, can I revive my people? Hey, saving at a church, that's kind of, Dragon Quest-like. Cure, promote, raise. Oh, that's adorable. I did want to change some of the settings. Okay, that looks and plays much better. But, yeah, I got some stuff I need to get to. Thank you for hanging around, Baby Yoda. And, hopefully the 2 weeks at the bank job isn't too bad and you don't completely lose it. And hopefully enjoy the project manager job. But with that, I'm going to call it a day. Take care, man, and thank you for keeping me company.